What's up, Plebheads? I'm Neo, joined here tonight by my brother,
Mr. fucking YouTube, baby.
Now, Jdog, last year when they announced Gears 5, our video, I believe, was titled, We Don't Care. Reacting to Gears 5 E3 2018 announcement. To me, Gears feels like a series that's on the same lines as Halo. Should have ended after the third game.
Should have
been the end.
Should have.
Now, I understand why.
It hasn't, because it does make money and they sell a lot of copies, unfortunately. But that's my biggest problem with Xbox, and kind of why I moved away from it, is they seem to be a two-game pony. You got Halo and you got Gears.
Yep.
And
now, we're not jealous.
I'm not jealous.
We're not jealous that we can't play it.
No,
we
I'm
have
playing
Xboxes.
PS4. I'm playing PS4. I'm not jealous.
We have Gears 4. Played it for maybe 10 hours. Haven't touched it since.
Yeah. And it was very samey.
Yep.
Really, Gears 1 and Gears 2 were excellent games.
Yeah.
Because they were innovating.
Top tier
at the time.
Top tier stuff.
And even Halo 1, 2, and 3, innovating. It felt like it had a natural progression, right, in the games.
Yep.
I remember playing through Halo 3, thinking it was one of the best games I ever played at the time.
Yep, it's fantastic.
Loved it. But then, you get the same old shit coming down the pike. And then you go branch off into Halo Wars and ODST and all this other crap. And you dilute it. And so it just doesn't have the same sort of gravitas that it had.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And for me, that's a little bit of a disappointment. So, I don't know what to expect with Gears 5, but I don't necessarily have a great deal of hope for this one. So,
let's just watch it. I think we're going to have some music, and it's going to claim our video because, that's what music artists do. You ready to check it out?
Sure.
Sweet.
It's like when you miss Marcus and Dom,
Yep.
So do you remember that great Gears of War trailer they had where it was...
Brothers till the end?
Yeah, or you had the one with the Mad World. Those were such great trailers.
There's another Gears.
Oh, we're getting fireworks.
Christ.
They attacked. We lost everything.
Dude, they've been talking about that for 5 games.
Yeah.
This might look like a surrender, but it's not. It's an invasion.
Oh, no. Christ. Oh, no. You haven't been relevant for like 10 years, buddy. Cool weapon. Isn't this game coming out like later this year?
Couple months, isn't it?
Yeah, can we get some
Where's the gameplay
can
though?
we get some gameplay? Yeah. Oh man. I need more than cinematic trailers. That just chain lightning to all those guys? That was cool. Now, of course, this virus will eat at them and blow them up. Of course it will. Ah, shit. Christ. Chainsaw, of course. Obligatory chainsaw.
Oh, escape? Must be a game mode.
Yeah, you gotta... Pretty sure that's the mode where you need to escape in, like, you know, clear rooms and escape in the amount of time before the virus or whatever the agent or whatever catches you and kills you too. Yeah. Something like that. I actually don't mind that game mode.
I don't either.
But at this point for me, Gears 5 is...
So here's the thing.
I don't have a reason to care. And I loved the first two.
Yeah. So
I played the third.
So the first game, right? I think for me, outside of the fact that it was really one of the first games at that time that really embraced co-op in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And made co-op an actual, like, thing, right?
Yeah.
So outside of that, there was something relatively believable about it. That these fucking locusts could be hiding under the earth and E-Day, Emergence Day or whatever would happen and these things would pop up out of the ground and overrun the earth. There was something very believable about that. At least, again, with all games, you have to kind of suspend some disbelief.
I'm with you.
But it's like, as long as it's rooted in reality a bit, I can get there, right?
Yeah, me too.
Even with Halo.
Me too.
You can kind of believe a ship would kind of come up over the world and the little bugs would drop down. You know, I mean, okay.
With Earth Defense Force?
So there's a little believability to it, right? So the more we go and the more this kind of, you know, it's kind of like Power Rangers, right? Like, remember the first Power Rangers?
Samurai Dinosaur Force, motherfucker!
Remember the first Power Ranger episodes when you had like the teenagers in high school and they got like the powers and they were kind of just normal
We wanted
kids.
to be that shit.
You could kind of believe when you're like a 5-year-old kid watching that, you could kind of believe that could happen. But then they started flying around in space and, you know, doing all this weird shit. And you're like, it's not that believable anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with Gears. It's like, now we're not fighting the locusts as much anymore. We're fighting like a bunch of fucking variants and the Lambit and a bunch of other nonsense. And it's like, the story has gotten perverted and diluted. And now it's just not as believable. And now the weapons aren't they were cool initially and now they're not.
Yeah.
So the game has lost some of its kind of charm, I think, for me personally.
Yep.
But not to say an escape mode wouldn't be cool to play through.
No, I think the escape mode concept is cool.
It is. But again, do I shell out $60 day one for this? No, I don't anymore.
I learned my lesson from Gears 4.
Because I'm going to play it just a couple times and I'm going to be sick and bored of it.
Yep.
Again, unfortunately, that's the case. And, you know, I think back to Gears 1, you had the 5 chapters, right? You had a controllable, again, a manageable piece of storytelling
Yep.
that you could play over and over and that really, again, had a believability factor to it. It had characters. I think with Dom and Phoenix, Marcus, right? You had characters that you could relate to, and because the story was built around them so strongly, you had the supporting cast, sure, but those characters, it was built around them so strongly that you attached to them. I know because there's like two brothers, right? So for me, and having a brother, of course, it's like something you can really just believe in.
Yep.
And now, of course, you've gone into all these other characters, and it's just like diluted the universe so much that if you're not an ultra fan, I just don't know if it's there anymore, personally.
Yep.
But look, I'm sure people will play it because
will.
you just bring out a Gears every couple of years and make a bunch of money.
Yep.
And that's what you do with Call of Duty and Halo and all that. But again, if you got into the games, not so much for the deathmatch or multiplayer aspect of it, but if your original interest in the games was in that single player or two-player storyline that they did so well in the first two games, I think they really lost that along the way, unfortunately. So for people like us that are more into storylines and story games, that's where this is lacking now. And of course, since everything has to go multiplayer, I can understand it from a business perspective, but it isn't the right choice from a storytelling or gaming perspective, at least in my opinion. So I think it just depends on what you're looking for. And for me, unfortunately, I'm looking for something more like Gears 1 or Gears 2, and that's not what we're going to get here. So, and you can just tell by the fact that they're showing off the multiplayer escape mode instead of anything related to an interesting
And a cinematic trailer
story
instead of gameplay.
Yeah.
When
So
we're
this
only
to
a
me-
couple months away from release.
This feels to me like what they're doing with Call of Duty, right? Where the story, you'll think of Modern Warfare 2 or even Modern Warfare. Two awesome stories, right? That I loved played through them 3 times each. Got those achievements for veteran, all that stuff, right? Awesome storylines. And then it's like, well, we make a lot of money on the multiplayer. And they just kept shifting that storyline and phoning it in, and now they're all multiplayer. And again, from a business perspective, I get it. From a gaming perspective, from a storyline perspective, from somebody that enjoys maybe not always having to play online or having to play in a competitive or team-based mode, that's what I see happening here, and it just isn't going to be for me. So,
Plebs, Gears 5, your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed the honest reaction and discussion here at the end. We'll see each and every one of you right here next time.
I saved myself $60. Did I save you $60? If I did, you're welcome.
GG and Plebs.